tumor that doesn't actually have any blood vessels cannot grow any bigger than the head of a ballpoint pen, the little ballpoint thing. That's it. And it can't get any bigger. It doesn't have enough oxygen, no nutrients. So it's stuck. But the moment blood vessels can touch that little tiny microscopic tumor and start to feed it, a cancer that is the size of the tip of a ballpoint pen will grow 16,000 times in 2 weeks. So this is an explosive trigger when angiogenesis is hijacked and our body isn't able to control it. So that's called tumor angiogenesis. And that's how I got started in this field, because we were at the beginning trying to set out to figure out how do you develop biotech drugs that can starve a cancer by cutting off its blood supply. Well, we've done that. And it's actually one of the mainstays of cancer treatment today. But the more exciting thing, we found that when you use the same testing methods that were used to develop these drugs to test foods, there's more than 100 foods that can actually starve cancers as well. Way back when I got in this field, we had a test system where we were testing cancer drugs that could starve a cancer by cutting off its blood supply. And one of the things that I did is I actually dropped some green tea in there, and it was shocking how effective the green tea polyphenols were in stopping those blood vessels that were feeding the cancer. And in fact, if I didn't tell the technician doing the lab work that it was actually a natural compound, and I told them it came from a drug company, they would have been super excited about it and started jumping up and down. And so again, Mother Nature is really, really good. So polyphenols in tea, e.g. CG is one of them. Resveratrol in red wine, also another one that's actually really, really powerful in terms of being anti-angiogenic. Genistein, the phytoestrogen in soy, actually can also cut off the blood supply feeding breast cancer. So it's just the opposite of the urban legend out there that soy is not good for you. I recently saw an article. It was a cover of a magazine that said, soy anti-nutrients or something like that. And my mind was blown that somebody could actually say that, because most of the nutrients, including the proteins, but also the phytoestrogens in soy, again, if you're a scientist, you take a look at this, and the phytoestrogens look nothing like human estrogens. They're not dangerous. They actually block human estrogens, and they actually are also anti-angiogenic, and they cut off the blood supply to breast cancers. And this has been shown in human patients, breast cancer patients as well. Tomatoes have lycopene. So many of the same foods that we know are good, healthy, plant-based sources of nutrition, we're now rediscovering that many of the bioactives in them are also powerful cancer blood vessel cutting off systems that cut off that starve a tumor. So blueberries are blue because they contain a natural dye that is colored blue that is called anthocyanin. And anthocyanins have been found to be powerful activators of our immune system in a beneficial way. So they don't cause autoimmune disease. They actually elevate our T cells and natural killer cells. These are part of the super soldiers that make up our immune system. They just kind of like give more weapons to our immune system to defend against invading armies. And just by eating like a cup and a half of blueberries a day, you can elevate your T cells by like 88%. Okay. And athletes that actually eat blueberries regularly, they just walk around with a higher level of immunity to begin with. It's kind of a performance maintainer, not an enhancer. It's a maintainer because your immune system is also firing at peak. Now, what's also interesting is that the same anthocyanin lowers inflammation. So this is a classic dilemma that is out there in the wellness world. Like, yeah, we want to get rid of inflammation, so we want to make sure our immune system isn't overactive. Well, look, inflammation is a subset of immunity. We want good, strong immunity to protect us from invaders, and we want to also lower inflammation at the same time. Blueberries can actually do that. Another great way of actually elevating immunity is with broccoli. Now, broccoli contains a natural compound called sulforaphane. It's actually a family of different natural chemicals that kind of give broccoli its kind of unique taste. It's also in kale, chard, all these other kinds of salad vegetables, honestly. But broccoli is particularly strong in, and it's been shown that actually you can actually boost your T cells, again, the super soldiers of your immune system, by just eating broccoli. But here's like a little pro tip and a little tiny hack. If you want to get as much as you can out of broccoli, you should eat normal adult broccoli. But here's the thing: the treetops are good, but the stems have twice as much of the sulforaphane. So don't throw the stems away when you're cooking it. If you don't want to saute the stems, there's plenty of recipes you can use with stems. You can put it into a blender, turn it into a soup, a little broccoli oregano soup. Amazing. Put a little vegetable stock in there. It's like a really tasty way of actually using broccoli and getting more of these sulforaphanes. But if you really want to like rock it with your broccoli sulforaphanes, you eat broccoli sprouts. These are the 3 to 4 day old baby broccoli. And it turns out that the broccoli sprouts have 100 times more sulforaphane than the grown-up broccoli. So, and actually the study's been done looking at the people getting the flu vaccine. These are 20-year-olds, healthy 20-year-olds, just getting the flu vaccine. And it was found that if you gave the flu vaccine and gave somebody broccoli, a shake made out of broccoli sprouts, you could ramp up their immune response by 22 times. So like really just amp up your immune system without causing inflammation. I'm like most people, I think. When you tell me not to do something, my brain goes, well, maybe I'll do it one more time. Maybe I'll try it. And so there's a lot of human nature to how we respond when somebody says something to take something away from you. And human nature abhors deprivation. And so one of the things is, I think most of us like to have our, quote, cake and eat it too. And so I always felt when I was, taking care of patients and trying to counsel them on things, rather than tell them to remove things from their diet, because that's really easy to do. And there's plenty of people out there, scolding people. Fear, guilt, and shame is sort of like the building blocks of traditional counseling about nutrition. And it makes you feel bad, actually, when somebody tells you, like you're a bad person for eating junky food. What I try to do is empower people, because I think people love to feel justified in what they like. And so in my book, I read about 200 foods that all activate the body's health defenses. And I used to say, I dare you to find in this 200 foods something like that. I dare you to find, review this foods and tell me that there's nothing that you like. And most people actually find something in 200 foods that they actually like. And I say, well, look, start with this, because what you like is already good for you. So you're already way ahead of the game. And if you can keep on adding things that you like and just understand, this is that education knowledge piece, what you like is good for you, then you can love your food and love your health at exactly the same time. And then this whole idea of anti-deprivation is that if you spend more time thinking about what to add to your body that's good for you, you'll spend less time thinking about the bad stuff, and more good things in your body kind of push out room for bad things. And if you spend most of your time fortifying your body's health defenses, those 5 health defenses, angiogenesis, stem cells, microbiome, DNA protection, and immunity with foods, honestly, every now and then you can fall off the wagon. You can eat something you really like or you really want to, or, everybody's eating it around you, and it's not that good for you. That's all right. Your body's got you covered. Your health defenses are there as a shield. So again, I think that there's just a healthier way to navigate through your life. These strict diets don't work for a long time. They're unsustainable. So I'm all about how do you actually get people to feel like they're in control, and what they like to do already is actually good for them. Kiwis, right? So these sort of, baseball shaped, little smaller baseball, furry little brown things. You cut them open, they're beautiful and green with seeds, starburst on the inside. I always liked kiwi, but I never really ate them very much. But I started doing the research on them, and kiwi is pretty amazing. First of all, it's a great source of vitamin C and fiber. And the vitamin C actually has tremendous antioxidant effect, and it can protect your DNA. And studies have been shown that actually if you eat 1 kiwi a day, it'll protect your DNA against damage by about 60%. If we ate 3 kiwis, it would actually help your body build any damaged DNA back by about 60%. And so here's something simple that you can peel, cut up, chop it into a yogurt, or just eat plain. It's delicious. You can put it into a smoothie that actually has this amazing ability to actually protect your genetic material. That's so fundamental, and it tastes great and not too sweet, and it's got a little citrusy flavor. Then the other thing that's great about kiwi is that it's packed with fiber. Now, fiber is basically a kiwi is essentially a prebiotic food. Its fiber feeds our gut microbiome. And studies have shown, there's a study done in Singapore that showed that just eating a kiwi, even one kiwi, overnight will start to change your gut microbiome, favoring more healthy species of bacteria. And so, like I always tell people, like, if I tell you something like that and you try a kiwi, you can't unlearn what I just told you. Every time you see the kiwi, you're going to say, you know what, I know there's something good about it. And then if you remember what that is, that's really what I try to do with my course, is really try to teach people how to make it second nature to make great choices. Hey, if you like that video, then you're going to love this one. Check it out.